Welcome everybody, welcome back to Homestead Heart. And today you all, I want to talk to y'all about something that has really been bothering me. And that is, am I going to be able to afford to get my ball jars? Am I going to be able to afford to do that with the way these jars are now being priced, okay? And I am talking specifically about one particular jar. And that's this jar. This ball half-gallon jar right here. This is one of my favorite jars because I'm able to store things in them. I don't can in these jars. I get a lot of questions about canning in half-gallon jars. I see somebody else canning in half-gallon jars. I wanted to know your opinion on that. I personally don't use these, okay? I personally don't use these, and Ball is specific that these are not made for canning. They're not meant for canning. Not that the quality of the jar is not good. The jar quality is great, but they're not meant. The intention for these jars is not to can in them. It's for what I use them for, which is food storage. Now, if you feel safe canning in these half-gallon jars, then I always say it's your kitchen, do what you want to do, okay? But I don't use these jars for canning. All right, you all? So now, the prices of these jars. I love these jars. I use these jars, like I said, for storing all of my foods that I may dehydrate or spices. These jars really come in handy, right? Now, this is my last empty jar, and I'm holding on to it for dear use. For dear life, because I don't want to put something in it and then I'd be like, no, I really needed it for such and such. So I'm like, I'm going to hold on to this jar until I figure out what's the most important food item I want to put in this jar, okay? So I'm holding on to it because it's the only one I have left. All of the others have things in them. So for example, I love using these half-gallon jars for things like my dehydrated onions, right? These are my green onions that came from the onions that I harvested last year. I cut a lot of onion tops off, and I dehydrated so many onions. I ended up with like 6 jars like this, right? But I use them in all of my soups when I'm cooking. I use these green onions. So this was from May of 2021. It is now May of 2022. This is my last one. It's the only one I got left right here. So I'm being very careful. I haven't even opened it yet. I have onions growing in the garden, but I have not cut the tops off of them yet, but I'm going to, right? I'm not going to wait for the tops to fall over and die and all of that. I'm not doing that because I use my green onion tops and I use them for cooking. So this is the last one I have right here. Out of all that I dehydrated last year, it's the last one I got right here, and you can see. And yes, there is an oxygen absorber in this jar. I did not vacuum seal it because my food saver, the vacuum, it quit on me. So I had to put a couple of oxygen absorbers in here and then just put the lid on nice and tight. And it has done the job, right? I put 2, I don't remember how many cc's it was. Could have been 300 cc oxygen absorbers. I'm not sure. But I got them in this jar, and it has kept and preserved my green onions for a year now. And like I said, this is the last one. And I will be harvesting onion tops here in the next week or so, and I will be dehydrating those. But the jars that I took the green onions out of, I've already put something else in them. Now I need another solution. I also like to use it. Look, these are my bay leaves. I cook a lot with bay leaves and soups and all of that. So when I buy a lot of bay leaves, I just take them and push them all down in these jars right here with an oxygen absorber, if I'm not going to be using them, because these right here I'm not using, because the ones that I am using, I'll leave those up in the cabinet and I'll pull from my half-gallon jar. And that's how I've been doing it, right? But this is what I use to keep like spices in. I have my wheat berries that I use for grinding for flour. I have those in the jar, right? I mean, just all different things that you could ever store in a jar. I use these half-gallon jars for that. Now, Mrs. H, why is that such a big deal? Because these half-gallon jars right here, I used to buy them in a box like this. It was a case of 6 that would come in these jars, and that case of 6 was $9 and something, right? Well, not anymore. These jars are now $5 a piece at Walmart. That's $30 a case, from $9 and some change to $30 a case. That is crazy expensive for these jars that just a couple of months ago, when I bought a case of 6, I think I paid $9.88 for that jar, for that case. Or it could have been 10. I think they went up when I bought that last case of 6. They went up. I think they were like $10.88 or something like that. But I used to get these cases for $9 and under. But now if you buy 6 of these, that's $35. Or $30, well, still $35 by the time you get through paying taxes on it. Depending on where you live, that's $30. And I'm thinking $35 because they were $5 at Walmart. But at some of the other grocery stores, these jars are $8.97 a piece. At other supermarkets, $8.97 a piece. So now I'm wondering, did Ball stop sending them to the supermarkets like this? And just started sending them individually with a barcode? Or is that something that the supermarkets and Walmart is doing on their own? Are they breaking down these boxes and putting labels on the bottom of the jars with their own prices? Because if so, that's bad. That's really, really low down and bad, right? If they're doing it that way. I'm not sure. But if they are doing it that way, that is a really, really low down and dirty move. I'm just going to tell you, it's a low down and dirty move to do that. As if things are not expensive enough. And you know, people are buying these jars for the purpose of food storage, so the prices are being jacked up on these jars like crazy, y'all. So for me, I'm not spending that kind of money on this jar. So I am going to have to come up with another solution, because that is crazy expensive. That's crazy expensive. And I'm telling you, for me, like I said, these are one of my favorite jars. Y'all know that pint and a half jar was my favorite. And these were also a favorite of mine. But I can't see going from paying under $10 for, see, a case of 6, wide mouth, half gallon. See, 6 half gallon. Yeah, I can't see going from under $10 for an entire case to $30. Do you see the price increase there in just a few short months? Because I just bought this case not long ago. I only bought one, but I bought this case just a few months ago. Under $10 for 6. And this is May. And at Walmart now, they're $5 a pop. So I don't know. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? So now, of course, I'm concerned that the average case of jars in the local stores are going to be astronomical. If so, what does that mean for us? Are we going to be priced out of being able to purchase canning jars to process our harvest, can our food? Are we going to be priced out of that? Is that what the intention is here? What's the plan for that? if I can't afford the jars anymore, what's the plan for that? So yeah, I'm always looking for new solutions. Yes, always looking for new solutions. So if you have canning jars, we don't know how things are going to go with these prices on these jars. I know a lot of times we like to can things and we like to share our canned goods with others. And so I can this, here you go, and we'll give them the jar and everything. And if they are not canners, they probably won't appreciate the value of the jar. So when they finish eating whatever you've given them, if you haven't asked for the jar back, they just may toss it in the garbage. Right? I got goosebumps when I said that. You tossed my jar in the trash. But you all, just thinking about that, like, it's a cringe, right? You threw the jar in the trash. You threw the jar in the trash. But you all, what are you going to do? What do you think about that? What is your backup plan if we won't be able to afford to buy not just the half gallons, but the quart-sized jars? I'm going to be thinking on some things. I know as far as the half gallons go, I will just find another solution. That's all. I'm just going to be on the search for another solution that is not going to cost me $5 a jar. And how did they come up with that price? Were they comparing it to the prices of other glass containers that you may see on the shelves at other stores that are like $10 because they're so cute? So how did they come up with these prices? Are they saying, well, this company can get this amount for that jar, we can get this amount for this jar too? How are they coming up with these prices? And why would they do that? So you all, just food for thought. Just food for thought. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Because I don't know about your pocketbooks, but my pocketbook don't tell me that with the way that I like to use these jars, and I had some awesome things coming up that I wanted to really do with these jars. I really did. That I really wanted to share some things with you all, but now I'm just going to have to come up with another plan because I can't see myself doing that. Shame on y'all for hiking up them prices like that when you know you didn't have to. Because do I think Ball is sending these jars in, not in the cases? Why would they do that? Why would they send in an individual jar where you order 2 jars? No, I think they're still coming just like they always did in these cases. At least that's just my take on it. And the stores have taken it upon themselves to try to make an extra buck. So they breaking down the cases, putting labels on them, and they charging you an arm and a leg for these jars. That's just my opinion. I would love to know what you think. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for this video. I really want to know, like, what do you think about the fact that these jars the prices have been jacked up the way that they have? I want to know what you think about that. And what do you think that means for the very near future? All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining us today. If you haven't done so, give our video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos we upload to our channel. Thank you for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. We'll see y'all in the next video.